Well, I have absolutely no idea if anybody will show up. This is very short notice. This is nothing but just me spinning for about 30, 40 minutes. Um, well, I managed to get back into Twitter. Whew. They're sneaky little bastards, I'll tell you that. I will tell you that there's some sneaky little bastards. I thought I was being clever the other day with my VPN, and I think they red flagged me on the VPN. That's why it's probably why. There we go. Hopefully the sound will be a little bit better. That's probably how they got me. They hit me up the VPN, and then I made the mistake of putting my phone number in by accident, and I think that's how they clocked me this time. But, you live and you learn. I've been doing this shit a long time. I know how to get around. I know how to get around those little obstacles. So, looks like I'm back on Twitter for all of, I don't know, a few minutes. It's been 10 minutes. I have not been suspended yet. And I've only made one post, and that was to Yosef. So we'll see how this plays out. Oh, that was interesting. Like I said, I originally wasn't even going to try and get back on Twitter. I tried the other day, and it lasted all of 5 minutes. Hey, Revan, come on up if you want, buddy. You should see the link in Discord. But yeah, I managed to sneak back into Twitter. So we'll see how long that lasts. Hopefully they'll leave me alone. I mean, I'm going to stick to politics on. Hey, Yosef, you guys are welcome to come up. You should be able to see it in Discord. If you can't, let me know. I'll shoot it to you privately because I actually can on Twitter now. Yeah, I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't even going to try until next year, but it was 4 o'clock in the morning. I was bored. I had nothing better to do, so I'm like, screw it. Let's see if I can't get one over on Twitter. So far, so good. I've managed to keep my profile. It has not been shut down yet. Not that I've done anything. And following 58 people, which are generally the people I talk to on Discord and everything. Hey, Yitzy. What's going on, buddy? Hey, guys, if you're interested, I'm going to throw it in here. I'll throw it on Loki's Discord, too, just in case you guys want to come in. Morning, Yitzy. Yeah, I managed to, so far, I've snuck around Twitter for all of 15 minutes. 10, 15 minutes. So we'll see how long that lasts. It's going to be funny. But like I said, I'll keep the politics over on Parler. And pretty much, I think I'm just going to use my Twitter account like I use my Facebook. I use my Facebook to get a hold of certain family members. I'm going to pretty much stick with Twitter now just to communicate with the community. But past that, I think my days of phishing people are over. It's lost its luster, it's lost its appeal. It just got boring. And Twitter doesn't know how to take a joke. So what do you expect? I was hoping the soup was on, but I guess I missed it by like 30 minutes. And then the morning brew doesn't start for another hour. So I guess you could look at this as your poor appetizer before the main course. Good stuff. On that little newsreel you get in between, that's the boring stuff. Oh, I hope everyone had a good Monday. Revan, Yosef, Yitzy, did you guys have a good morning? Or good Monday? Listen to me. It's 5 a.m. and I still can't talk. I need coffee. Coffee. Just need to pick what cup I want to put it in. Oh, maybe I didn't put it in the right one. Oh, well, I'll figure it out. There it is. I put it on Jedi Bill's channel, then I put it on mine. I'm going to be honest. I saw this trailer. I saw a lot of trailers. Somebody mentioned that trailers had dropped over the weekend. Who we got? Oh,
hello.
We got the Irish himself. How you doing, buddy?
I'm okay. Can't complain. Well, I can, but no one's really willing to listen.
I like that. Yeah, check my Twitter. Yeah, look, man. You know how long I've been off Twitter now? It's been almost 2 weeks, I think. I think it's been been a little.
I lost
2 weeks.
Dude, I lost my entire Twitter and I had to start a brand new one. I had nearly 100 followers on it.
Oh, hey, I had created 3.0 and it lasted all of 5 minutes. And I thought I was being smart about it. I was using my VPN, but I guess they red flagged my VPN, and then they made me put in my. They got me here. They snuck one past me. I didn't even think about it. I put in my phone number, and I said, "Oh shit, that's how they got me."
No, it's an IP address. They did the same
IP address. It can't be the IP address, otherwise my wife would get suspended too because she's on the same IP. You got to remember everything You got to remember everything that comes out of your Wi-Fi is still on the same IP.
I know that. Yeah,
but that was interesting. But anyway, like I said, I'm gonna
brew some coffee and cry silently to make the coffee saltier.
Nah, I'm perfectly fine. I like what Yost told me. He goes, just avoid Elliot and you should be fine. I'm like, yeah, well, that's what got me kicked off the last time.
I called the leader of a certain group who stages peaceful protests a Cocoa Pop. I got into a fight with her, and then this transgender individual came up, and I called him mentally ill. And my account went away.
Yeah, I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to stick with doing Parler for that. Well, what annoys me is Twitter, when they suspend me, they won't let me log out. So I had to purge all my stuff off of my history. So all my cookies and everything were taken care of. And, unfortunately.
What annoys me is my old Twitter still exists. But the thing is, I did not follow anyone, and it's like just 0. Which means with my new one, I can't go back, and I cannot get my old messages, my old stuff like that.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Which fucking irritates me.
Oh, I know. What irritates me is, not being able to... what irritates me is not being able to, be able to look back and see who all I was sub to. But thankfully, most of the people I regularly chat with, like you, Yosef, Captain Trek, Yitzi, and everybody. All I got to do is find one. All I got to do is look up one name. It doesn't matter who. I can look up Captain Trek. I can look up you. I can look up somebody. And generally speaking, we follow in the same circles, so I'm able to reconnect with everybody relatively easy. I mean, the hardest part's just trying to get through Twitter when they want to fuck with me.
Well, your hardest part right now is staying conscious without coffee, man.
Surprisingly enough, I'm doing pretty good without it right now. I don't drink as much coffee as I used to. I used to be a pot a day coffee guy. Now I'm honestly, I'm up to maybe a cup or 2 a day. That's about it. Not much.
I've never liked the taste of coffee. I always thought it tasted weird and disgusting.
Really?
Yeah. But I heard this, I don't know. So I never liked the taste of coffee. Then about a year or 2 ago, I had a very, very bad acid reflux attack. And I burnt my esophagus. Now I don't touch hot drinks because for about 2 months, if I drank anything hot, it was excruciating.
Ooh.
Yeah. While it was healing, but now it's grand. I can drink it, but I've just kind of learned to get an aversion to it.
Yosef, have a safe work environment for your Tuesday, buddy. Great to see you.
Make sure your wife doesn't beat you again.
Ooh. Did he have a spat with his wife and lose?
Yeah, it's called their marriage.
Yeah, I know that. I've always been under the thing. I can never be wrong because my wife tells me what to do and she's always right. So by proxy, I'm always right.
My grandfather had a sign on his bedroom door. He was part of that generation where he was in a different room, right?
Yeah.
And the sign said, I am the master of this house. I am the lord of this castle when my wife isn't here.
That's pretty much how it works. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Uh,
He used to have a slogan on his door, and then it took me years to realize the man was a massive racist. I thought it was bread, but it wasn't.
hey, LDG Pixels. If you want to come up, buddy, let me know. I'll shoot you the link. You know what? Screw it. I'll put the link in here. If a
What
troll
does
shows
N-
up, if a troll shows up, I'll deal with him. I don't think too many trolls are going to show up in my domain.
what does NB mean?
Nobody.
Nobody geeks.
Yes, nobody. It stands for when I originally created the account. We never argue. We have opinion exchanges. I come with mine and exchange it for hers. Good answer. Good answer, Yosef.
Okay, that is okay.
That is how you keep a marriage going. Whatever idea you have, if she approves of it, it's a good idea. If she doesn't, you have to check fire and adjust it to her specifications.
I was like my friend. He said that his next anniversary is his 20th wedding anniversary, and I said, "Oh, cool! So you get early release then, yeah?" And he's like, "Wait, what?" And he's turned around to my friend who's married 6 years, and I'm like, "How long you got left on your sentence?" She's like, "What sentence? Why do you think I want to get out of this?" Like, well, you're doing the crime for your punishment. She's like, dude, my punishment is like going pop out a kid.
Yeah. Yeah, Madam Geek and I have been together now almost 15 years, been married almost 14.
So another 6 years and then your sentence is up.
Are you crazy, man? I'm institutionalized. I can't function without her. You out of your mind? You think I can function as a man without my wife telling me what to do? What kind of man do you think I am?
Very true. Well, I'll tell you this: one of the best scenes of institutionalization is Shawshank Redemption.
Yes, that is a great movie.
I
Fantastic.
love that movie. Oh my god, we have to watch it sometime.
It's a great movie. Unfortunately, it's one of those movies that was not well received in the beginning. It wasn't, but it has since come a long way as being very, very, cult classic, very kind of like that redemption movie. It's not even a redemption movie. It's more, it's a redemption movie more for Red than it is for Andy Dufresne.
Yeah, I think it's actually Red's story. Because he's the one who.
Yeah. Well, who are you going to have? If you're going to have someone narrate, Morgan Freeman's the guy you want to narrate. Man, we need someone to read the phone book. Has anybody got the budget for Morgan Freeman?
Morgan Freeman reads bedtime stories to his grandkid. That grandkid's never going to be able to listen to an audiobook.
Oh, no.
And the 3 little pigs. Just listening to the voice.
I'm in the same boat with you, Yosef. I'm hoping for life without parole. I'm more than happy to be where I'm at with my wife.
And there,
Pixels, no problem, buddy. Enjoy the conversation between me and Revan here. Got a Midwesterner from the Americas, and then we've got the Irish.
We've got a Belgian and an Eastern European in a Slovakian in the comments as well, and then we have an American.
Yep. See, this is what's called diversity, people.
Yeah. But then I'll tell you something now. Talking about diversity, what I really like is, so I will be friends with anyone. And one of my friends on Discord, she's more left than I am. Right? She's all in.
Here's the thing, though. You got to understand something. There is a difference between European left and right and American left and
She's
right.
American.
Okay. Yeah. It's a little bit different.
Yeah. But the thing is, all I'm just going to say with it, I'm not getting political. I'm just going to say she's a fucking sweetheart. But then I have like family who are absolute assholes who are Democrats.
Well, that's the way it's going to be.
Yeah.
PCat, thank you for finding me again, buddy. Well, I found you first, but anyway. No, that's what I liked about it. Like I said, the nice thing about trying to get back on Twitter was I just knew if I just find one person, I knew the vast majority of us would
find them.
Well, I would be able to find everybody. And, I figured everybody would pretty much know my name by now as NBG.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
but here's another one I want to do, like Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, do you like that one?
Yes.
I was watching this history breakdown on it, and they said that they really like the fact that not the Americans nor both the Americans and the Germans, neither side are shown to be like in the best light at times, which was true because there was assholes on both sides, right?
I think that one of the times that I think that unfortunately, and I will say this, people need to remember that during that time it was Nazi Germany.
Yeah,
these were just rank and file. The vast majority of those boys and men, most of them were rank and file soldiers, didn't have a freaking clue what was going on. They were just being patriots to their own country.
Yes. Yeah. But do you remember the scene when the two men walked out with their hands up shouting?
Yes.
They were saying, we're conscripts, we're Czech, we're not German. And the guys were like, what? And they were saying, I dress well for dinner. And they were just conscripts. They said that this guy, do you watch History Buffs?
No, I do not watch History Buffs right now.
I'll drop you a link in one of your
Okay, please do.
Basically, what he does is he takes historical movies and he cuts them down and he looks at them. Right?
Yeah.
And one movie that really, really got on its goat was The Patriot.
The
Mel Gibson movie.
Mel Gibson movie. Okay.
Yeah, he's like, there's Jesus imagery in it. He said, you murder a man on a horse by stabbing him with a wooden flagpole. Not a lance, a flagpole. But yet, the flag is perfect. He's like, do you know how much blood is in the front of a horse? He goes, no matter what movie Mel Gibson's in, he thinks Mel Gibson seriously hates the British.
Well, wasn't he? Well, he was born in America, but didn't he spend most of his life in Australia?
I thought he was pure Australian.
No, I believe he was born in America, but his family was in Australia for the longest time. I could be wrong. Let me check that.
There's a meme going around, and it says it's like Disney when they realized that Disney realizing they need Star Wars content for Disney Plus. Star Wars Mandalorian and Andor, and then you see Obi-Wan. No, nothing too fancy, and then it's like Disney after Mandalorian becomes popular. Obi-Wan, Bad Batch, Ahsoka, Visions, Star Wars Toy Story, Rangers. He
was born in New York. So he was born in New York, but I believe he spent a lot of his time in Australia. That's why he has the more Australian accent.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't remember. Was it you who told us about all the trailers that dropped over the weekend?
Yeah, I was the one who told you.
Yeah, I thought that was you. Yeah, I looked at them. I thought they looked okay. Some of them look good. I'm going to give them a shot.
I'll give them a shot as well.
I like the Bad Batch. I liked where they were in that last season of Clone Wars. I like Echo. I'm glad that Echo's back, and I'm kind of like I would love to see more of Echo, the clone trooper. So that'll be interesting to see how
Yes.
they interact after Order 66. And then Andor. Look, yes, actually, I'm all for seeing Andor and what he did prior to Rogue One. And if anybody says, "Oh, well, he dies in Rogue One," I'm like, "Yeah, and I knew
I was the one who literally said that.
I knew Vader was dead in Return of the Jedi. Doesn't mean I knew Yoda was dead. Doesn't mean I didn't enjoy the prequels to get to see them in a certain stage of their life."
Mm-hmm. Okay, here's a question for you.
Sure.
Do you think after Clone Wars TV series, Yoda is a dick?
Nah, Yoda's a trickster. Yoda's got a little Loki in him, if you want to be honest.
Okay.
I don't think he's a dick. I think he's a trickster. I think he just has a very unique way of doing things. And it's a little trickstery. Because he did it to Luke at the very beginning. He made Luke think he was nothing but a pathetic creature, and then all of a sudden he changes like, oh, this is actually the Jedi Master, not just the Jedi Master, the Grand Master Jedi.
Yes. He's like, don't judge me by my size. I always like the idea of hiding a lightsaber in like a staff or a cane. Mm-hmm. And you just see this guy and he's standing there like with the cane and they're like, what are you going to do? He goes, this kid. And he puts his staff out and he stops limping and he stands up straight and he don't look weak or pathetic anymore. And the staff literally just explodes into a lightsaber.
Well, actually, there was in the Clone Wars, there was this one Jedi that I think Ahsoka was working with, and he was
the old man.
He had the cane that when he pulled out the cane, it displayed his lightsaber.
Yes.
That was that was
like that.
Yes, I do too. And it made sense for the character.
It did, but I'm just saying, if you were like a Jedi and you were hiding and things like that, just say you met your wife, you now had kids, Order 66, would you not pretend to be ill, like physically ill, like limping and things like that? Or how would you hide?
That's an interesting thing because there's something interesting. Did Obi-Wan and Yoda at some ways turn themselves off from the Force and then turn themselves back onto the Force at different times? They always seem like they stayed constant with the Force.
Yeah, they were constant with the Force. And if you watch the Rebels,
Yoda went to Dagobah because Dagobah had a strong dark side presence, so
that's
why we were able to mask him there. Obi-Wan, well, think about it. It's Tatooine. I mean,
Vader hates
Vader
Tatooine.
does not want to go back there. Vader wants nothing to do with it. So, yeah, I mean, if you're going to hide, you might as well hide on the most hated place for him. Especially since that's where Luke is. And he doesn't know Luke and Leia are even alive.
Yes. I mean, I've always wondered, and I know that how strong Vader was, but do you think that Anakin ever poked his head up at times we never saw?
The only time I can say for 100% certain I saw Anakin in any other thing other than Return of the Jedi slowly starting to creep back was that one moment in the Clone Wars where it almost for a split second looks like Ahsoka has reached Anakin.
With the lightsabers.
For a split second.
I think at times he did let Anakin out. Once or twice.
But they were few and far between.
Very few and far between.
Yeah, like I said, it was for that one moment in the Clone Wars where Ahsoka had actually taken a bit of his mask off and you hear Anakin's voice. You hear the animator guy and she's like, I'm not leaving you again. And then you just for a split second see
Ahsoka.
Yeah, you see the split light in his eyes and then it's gone. It's just like he shut it right off. It's like Anakin was coming out and Vader shut the door on him so hard.
I
But it
think
was just a window. But it's nice because it's a window into he can be reached. We just need the right person, and the right person had to be his son,
I like
who did exactly what Anakin didn't do.
yes, I like the fact of what Dave Filoni actually came out and he put down all the fan theories. He's like, look, guys, I'm going to state this once and for all. He said, in pure canon, he said to end all these fan theories, Ahsoka could not have saved Anakin. The
No,
only one who could have saved Anakin was Luke or Leia, his children. That is it.
exactly.
He goes,
But he did make it to where Ahsoka tried, and
yes,
for a split second. But yes, no, he cannot be the one. She is not going to be the savior of
no.
Anakin Skywalker. It has to be the children. It
There's
has to be Luke or it has to be Leia. And actually, the way the originals work out, it has to be Luke because he's closer to Luke. Because Luke still accepts the truth. Leia,
Yeah.
not yet.
Okay, let's see. Okay, say they just do away with the Disney canon. Say like the sequels are gone, they rewrite
one do you want to get rid of?
the movies.
Sequels?
Let's just say the sequels.
Okay, we can say the sequels.
Okay, because let's save the Mandalorian. So
Great
they get
show.
rid of the sequels. Okay,
Mhm.
now they establish a new timeline, and you hear somebody talking and it goes, "My ancestor, she was a Jedi. She was a general, and she was a princess. My ancestor was Leia Solo. Would you be okay with the fact that we never saw her, but she did become a Jedi?"
Well, actually, no, because I've actually read in the books where Leia did become a Jedi Knight.
How was it?
Great. She was not trained by Luke. She was actually trained by one of his other masters. And he did that because he's like, I'm an attachment to you.
Yeah.
And he also didn't have his her daughter because Jaina Solo in the books was a full-fledged Jedi Knight. And actually, by the time the end of a certain series, I think it was Legacy or Fate of the Jedi. I don't remember. Legacy of the Force or Fate of the Jedi. Luke turns to Jaina and goes, Master Jaina.
Yes.
And he looks at him and he's like, I just wanted you to hear it first from me. Basically, he promoted her to the rank of Jedi Master.
Did you watch The Legend of Korra?
No, I have not. I've seen
Last Airbender.
I've seen Avatar: The Last Airbender, but not Legend of Korra.
Okay, Legend of Korra season 2 is the worst, but the rest is good, right? But when Korra is a headstrong, she's your typical teenage girl. She's like all into fighting and everything, not spiritual whatsoever. Okay.
Okay.
Then at the end of the first series, she loses her powers because they get taken away from her by a bloodbender who has learned to remove people's bending permanently through permanent chi blocking. Okay? And then in her worst moment, she's now only an airbender, and she's at this cliff and she's crying. And she looks, and there we see Aang, the one and only time we see Aang actually appear to her, and he gives her back her powers. But then when she goes and she meets Tenzin, who always called her Korra the whole time, and Toph's daughter, they only refer to her as Korra. They both turn around and they get down on their knees and put their head down and they're like, Avatar Korra. And just the look on her face when she actually hears her two friends and masters who never referred to her as Avatar. They now call her Avatar Korra. Because for her, Avatar was kind of an insult. Like whenever anyone would say, they're like, oh yes, Avatar Korra, I presume, yes? And or else they'd call her half-baked Avatar.
Really?
Yeah.
So how was the series overall?
The series was very good because but it was really weird because they never got told you're getting 4 series. They're always told Series 1, you're not to get to the end, you're getting a Series 2. Series 2, get to the end, you're getting a Series 3. Series 3. So each one is a standalone. And which pissed off the guys who made it. Because they could not have an overriding arc. They had to have 4 individual stories. Right? But in Season 2, it went off the rails. It got... So harmonic convergence comes back, which is this thing where the spirit and the human world interact once every 10,000 years. Okay? And that is the moment where 10,000 years ago, we actually see the first Avatar. One, we spend an entire episode with him. We see how he met Rava, how he got his powers, how he became the first Avatar, everything like that. And you know Zuko alone, when he walked through the field of the giant bending discs.
Dude, it's been a while since I watched Avatar.
Right. Well, so the field where Zuko walks through and Zuko alone is the field where the first Avatar actually died in the first Earthbending War.
Okay.
And so then the next Avatar, you don't see next Avatar, you just hear the Avatar crying as a baby. And so Korra then loses her connection to every Avatar when the Vatu, the being of darkness, pulls Rava out of her and cuts Rava in half. So Korra then has to become a giant spirit being by bending her own spirit, and she's able to now blast energy from her chest. As I said, this series got stupid. And she pulls Rava out of Vatu, recombines with her, and then she leaves the spirit world portals open. Now that's where the stupid really ends. Like everything gets back on track. They fired the story editors who came up with that. But they didn't get rid of her losing the connection to Aang. But what they did do was harmonic convergence has brought back the airbenders. There's now brand new airbenders popping up. People who are non-benders but have airbender ancestors are just like poof, and they're now airbenders, including one of Toph's granddaughters.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not familiar with the Korra legacy. I remember the Avatar Last Airbender where Aang was the last airbender because they knew that the Avatar was going to be an airbender next. That's why they were wiped out the airbenders. Yes.
And then they attacked the water tribes because they said, hey, if we kill the airbender, he's definitely a waterbender. So they attacked the water tribes. And then after a few years of him not showing up there, they're like, okay, we definitely killed him. So he's an earthbender now. So they then started to wipe out the Earth Kingdom.
Did you have a particular bender that you liked?
Air.
Really? I was actually I actually liked the Earthbenders. I always kind of appreciated Earth, the way they did their stuff.
I'm really into folklore and like philosophy and stuff like that. And the airbenders kind of, if it was me, I would probably be a rogue airbender. Like I'd eat meat and stuff like that, but I'd have airbending tenets, but I wouldn't follow all of them because I'm not really a follower. Like the way I was brought up, don't follow anyone. Okay, so in the Catholic religion, you're meant to kiss the Pope's ring when you meet him, right? And you get down on one knee. I would not do that. Why should I kneel in front of?
Well, that's one of the reasons why. It's one of the reasons I don't subscribe to Catholic dogma much anymore. I mean, don't get me wrong. I am Catholic. I was baptized Catholic. And it was actually, but here's the thing. I was baptized Catholic as an adult. I went through catechism as an adult.
Oh, okay.
Baptism as an adult. I chose to go through that route. Nobody forced me. I actually did it as an adult. And don't get me wrong. I don't regret it. I still have my certification of baptism in my official record along with everything else. So Yeah, I still have it. No, I'm not ashamed of being baptized. But
No.
I'm the only person in my house who has been baptized. My wife has, and my children haven't. And there's a reason why. Because I feel baptism is a very personal choice that you should choose, not me choose it for you.
That I was looking at is that is actually one of the reasons for the splits in Sweden.
But no, I mean, it's not that I reject the Catholic Church or the Pope or
Mm.
anything. I just my wife and I do more non-denominational. We do devotion and stuff. Hey, Dave, you want to come up, buddy? I got the link in there if you want to come up.
So what you're telling me is that you're basically you could be described as there's actually this weird one called New Catholic.
I go by non-denominational. I don't have a denomination. I do read the Catholic Bible. I will say that I don't read the King James Bible. I read the Catholic Bible.
Yeah.
And for those of you who don't know, there is a difference between the King James and the Catholic Bible. There's more chapters there's more books in the Catholic Bible than in the King James.
And our Bible's older, so. Although I'll tell you something now, what I would love, I'd say you'd love it as well. I want to get into the vaults of the Vatican.
The what?
The Vatican vaults.
You wouldn't be able to read any of it.
I know that, but I'm just saying, if I could.
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. If I could, I'd love to go look just to say, hey, I saw the vault. Or
yeah. Not even that. It's like, I want to know what they're keeping in there. And I don't think there's anything like magical or anything like that, but it's just like, what's in there? They have so much history in there that I'm pretty sure it could rewrite the history of some countries.
Oh, well, there's a possibility.
Yeah.
You gotta remember, everything we have is based on faith.
Ow. Yeah, but I don't know. I got into a fight with my religion teacher because I turned around and this was when the Catholic Church had changed Mary Magdalene from being basically bad to being good, where they had changed their opinion on her. That's when I was growing up, right?
Oh, really?
Yes. I was taught by my grandfather always referred to her. My grandfather used to read it. He basically memorized the Bible. And he referred to her solely as Mary of Magdalene. He said Magdalene's not her last name, and don't you talk about her the way that she's portrayed. That's propaganda. Give her the respect that she deserves. So I grew up thinking that we should find her tomb and return her to the body of her friends. I don't think she's...
Well, I've never understood why Mary Magdalene got so much crap. I mean, okay, so what? She was supposed to be a prostitute. Peter was a tax collector. By all standards, and that was worse.
No, you're not thinking the right time period. Or you have to think early church Romans, right?
Oh.
Yeah, she was a woman, and women were asking for power, right? They're like, "Hey, look, Mary Magdalene." So they're like, "Well, if we put Mary Magdalene down, then we can use her as a bad example, and we don't call her one of the preachers of God." Right? So, and
I've heard that before.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a reason why honestly, there's a reason why I stay at theology arguments because unlike unlike civics or history, everything I can base it on fact. Theology, I can't do that. All I can do is base it on faith, and faith is a hard thing. Faith is impossible to prove.
Lockdown has shaken mine. Honestly.
Blame your government.
Oh, I do. Dude, there's so much crap crap that's gone on over the months here. I can't even get it. It literally takes up a month.
Somebody was talking to me earlier on a different channel. I just remember they were talking about how you maybe
Captain Trek.
Yeah. I mean, you, Yosef, and Yitzi, you all live in different countries from us. So, I mean, he was with the way you were describing, we are like, man, talk about draconian.
So, yesterday they came out and they said, do not hug anyone. Limit your human interactions over Christmas. Try and not spend time with any family. If you do, stand in the corner of the room, away from them all. Do not share cutlery. Do not hand sweets out. Do not hug your elderly relatives.
In translation, don't be a living person.
Dude, for many months, like my mother, like basically I didn't really have met. Like I spoke to my mother and sister, but I'm not really the closest with them. I've basically had no like human contact, and when I got like a hug off my best friend, it felt weird. It was so long since I've actually had that human contact.
I was listening to Yosef the other day. You might have been on there. I don't remember. Where he's like, they're telling him not to go so far out of like maybe, I guess, what you would call county lines, or
we have that as well.
Yeah, and he was telling me his mother is 35, I think 35 miles away from him, and he's like, I don't give a shit. She's coming here for Christmas. I'm like, now that's a son.
I'll tell you something. They turned around and they said, like, don't have any human contact, or anything like that. My best friend nearly died. Right?
Yeah.
And she, through all this medical shit. And then she was standing there and she's like, hey, so it's like the government says we're not meant to give each other a hug, and I'm there, fuck it. And I just fucking latched onto her. Like, we nearly fucking lost her. I'm there, and I literally told the doctor himself was like doing a Facebook thing. The amount of people commenting, fuck you.
Pretty much.
Honest. Oh, get this. Since you're going to be a grandpa, right? Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
You'll be a great one. So,
I hope so.
My cousin recently had a baby. Alone. There was nobody allowed in the room with her. No mother, no father, no one to hold her hand. And when the dad was allowed to see the baby, the day the baby was born, 15 minutes, and he had to stand 2 meters away while the mother held the baby up and showed her to him. His own kid, he wasn't allowed to touch it. The first day. She said she never felt she's had 2 other kids. She said this was the worst experience of her life. She just cried.
I can imagine. I can imagine how the dad felt, being like, I can't even hold my own child because
he got kicked out of
the government's being a dick.
He got kicked out of the hospital for it. He started a fight. Like, he literally, there was a nurse there protecting him. The nurse he was like, okay, come on, you can't stand that close. This is a country boy, big Irish country boy. He took this little nurse and threw him like a little tin foil, and he said he went to go over. And the doctors were there, and he started grabbing them. They're like, you can't get too close. COVID rules. You can't get too close. And he got kicked out of the hospital.
So I'll give you an example of my temper. And I have a bad temper. I know people think I may be sarcastic a lot. I'm an asshole, but I'm generally a good guy. But I have a bad temper. I just have learned how to manage it.
Same.
But I'll never forget this. Thanksgiving, November 23rd, 2000. My ex-wife wakes me up. She says, hey, it's time for the baby. And I said, okay. I didn't do like the TV shows or panic or anything. I said, okay. Got up. I said, do you have everything you need? Okay. We made sure, drove to the hospital, got her to the hospital. 2 hours later, they come out and say, they say, she's not dilated enough. Come back in 2-3 hours. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? You won't admit her? They're like, and mind you, I'm an enlisted person talking to officers in a military hospital. I'm like, fine. It took me an hour to be able to get my ex-wife and the baby, with her being pregnant, in the car, back to the house. Mind you, I only live 10 minutes from the hospital.
Bloody hell.
And we waited 2 freaking hours. And I took her straight back at the 2-hour mark. Walked in, that same lieutenant came out and goes, if she's not fully dilated, we're discharging her. I said, you can discharge her all you want. We're going to sit in that fucking waiting room until you admit her. Do you understand me? And he looked at me and goes, who do you think you are? I said, who do you think you are? I said, I'm the husband. I'm the future father. Do you think your shiny little gold bar means a goddamn thing to me right now?
Yeah, fair play to you, man.
I didn't say that last part, but the look on my face when he goes, who do you think you are? I said, who do you think you are? Guess what? They admitted her. Hey, Captain Trek.
Hey.
I think you're going to be starting up in about 20 minutes.
Yep. So what's going on there?
Just me and Revan kind of talking about some fun stuff. We just kind of bullshitting. I'm up, unfortunately, so I'm like, fuck it. The soup was done. You were coming up. I was like, I'll be the unappealing appetizer in the middle.
Oh, that unappealing appetizer. It's not exactly a compliment.
When have I ever complimented myself? You know me. I'll make more jokes about me than anybody else.
True.
Hey, I snuck back on Twitter.
Yeah, I noticed that.
And I'm still not suspended yet. I think I might have finally. I know how they got me last time. Let me rephrase that. I don't know how they got me. I theorize how they got me.
Who?
Oh,
testify.
Again?
No, he was suspended. Outright banned.
Yeah. I was one who reported him, but
I reported him as well. I got a notification that he had violated multiple racist rules. Thank you for it, and we will be taking action. Don't fuck with my friends, and don't say what he said when Drew was Asian. Bitch, we can fuck with you to that advantage.
Oh, yeah.
Did he who should not be named get kicked off again?
Oh, he got suspended because we mass flagged him yesterday for all the shit. And I did you not hear what I did to him?
I might have missed it.
I started posting hardcore furry porn to him, disabled porn, and I posted diarrhea floating in the toilet.
Okay, man, I thought I was deep. Captain Trek, how was the soup, buddy? I was gonna come on, but it ended 30 minutes after I got up, so I was like, yeah, okay. How was it?
28 minutes for me.
Yeah.
Oh. I don't know. I was on earlier and I had it on, and then all of a sudden I went to sleep again. And when I woke up, it was over.
It happens. Well, you got your morning brew in about 15. Hey, make sure you plug that in so we can send everybody your way. All 5 of us.
Okay, let me
So-
put it back.
There's a weird. So I thought American teenagers were stupid. Irish teenagers are lying in front of moving cars. As a new trend called ghosting.
Stuff.
You know what happens to Americans who get in front of a vehicle? We run
They
their ass
die.
over.
Yeah, they die.
So
And
hey,
then they freak out.
NB, did I ever tell you what happened to me last summer on the train that gave me so much giggles? And it's just so Irish.
No, but
So last summer I was at Comic Con and we were going up on the train. This train is a precursor model to the Japanese train. Okay?
okay.
It was moving at over 300 miles an hour. Train screeches to a halt. We hear your ka-dunk dunk splat. The windows turn red. 2 minutes later, the conductor come out. Sorry about the emergency stop. We appear to have hit a sheep and 2 cows. And it's like, we are going to wait for a replacement engine. And then we will head away. If we don't need to be replaced, we'll get back on track. We should be about an hour and a half late to arrive into Dublin. Sorry for any inconvenience. Now, this dumb bitch across from me looked at her husband and went, "Oh my God, I hope they're okay." He looked at the red bloods and guts spewing across the window and goes, "I don't think so."
Okay, first off, Revan, I'm going to say this. I don't believe for a second the train was going 300 miles an hour.
Well, it can do that. It was going full speed. It was going full speed for its limits, like.
Okay, but 300 miles an hour, I don't think we have a train that goes that fast.
There's a train in Japan that goes 500 miles an hour.
Yeah, it does. That's why it's called a bullet train.
And this is the precursor model to it. This train can hit up to 300 miles an hour cruising.
Yeah.
On a straight track.
I'm going to be honest. I would be terrified to be on a train that went 300 miles an hour.
We can get from Ireland to Dublin, which is about 125 miles, where we can get there in half an hour if the train goes full speed. But it takes an hour and a half with all the stops. That's what this train can do. Like, they tested it out, but it's advertised as going 300 miles an hour, but they don't put up the actual speed, but so we always just assume. But yeah. But it was so fucking funny. We started making steak jokes. So like the conductor's like, "Does anyone have any questions?" "Yes." Can they get some free steak? Do I have to go out and take it? Because I think it's going to be very tender.
Oh, I had to deal with June, when I go up to see my daughter, I was originally going to fly because I was like, I don't want to drive. And then I realized I've got no choice. I'm going to have to drive because I can't wear a mask. So could you imagine somebody with anxiety and prone to anxiety to go to, what comes after the panic attack, and me being on a fucking plane, and I am terrified of heights. I was like, I told my wife yesterday, I'm like, "Oh, nope, I'm driving." She was like, "Why?" I said, "Because you know what they're going to make me do on that plane? They're going to make me wear a mask." And I'm like, if I wear that mask, it's going to cause my anxiety to go through the roof. I'm going to have a panic attack. And I'm like, I'll never make it. And I'm like, I can't do it. So I'm like, fuck it, I'll drive.
On Friday, I went into town, first time in a year. I finally got out. And I had to wear a mask. And I swear to God, I nearly passed out. Like, I was there and I was standing at the neon light, like looking at this neon light that said exit. and it got really, really bright, and everything around got dimmer, but all my head got really fuzzy, and I could feel the weakness in my left. I have like asthma. When my asthma gets bad, it gets really bad, and I could feel the weakness in my left lung. And my friend was there, and it's like, "Hey, do you need to go outside?" I don't really remember what my answer was. All I remember is we both headed outside, and she was like dragging me, and then like the mask came off my face, and as soon as I got oxygen, everything started feeling better, and I got a massive headache, and all I was like that for myself. Then I had another friend who went to church. Her and her husband, they went to church for the first time in a while, and she had to wear a mask, and she said never again. Never again. She got the same thing. She thought that she was going to pass out. She was feeling woozy, and her husband's like, yeah, we'll just watch it online until this whole shit passes over.
I was, I had said after the first time I had that on, I was like, wait a minute, I used to wear a gas mask, but I was never claustrophobic. Now, I will be honest, I had to rethink about it. Believe it or not, the gas masks we used to have in the military were way easier to breathe through than these fucking masks that they
I'll
have.
tell you this, so I had to wear gas masks, not gas masks, like rebreathers. But the thing is, when you breathe, when you go, whoo, your air goes out and it gets filtered. But when you have on these masks, the reason why you're feeling claustrophobic is it's right up against your face, and you can feel the air starting to form around your mouth. It feels like you have no air. You feel trapped.
Well, I didn't used to think I was claustrophobic, which in most ways I'm not, but apparently I have a certain type of claustrophobia because I started thinking about why is this bothering me, and then I realized I don't like tight fitting clothes. I like loose fit. I want my clothes to be able to breathe. And it was like I put on tight fit stuff throughout the military, and it always made me uncomfortable. And I guess maybe I just didn't realize that. But I guess I have a certain level of claustrophobia that I didn't
Possibly.
even know about. At least that's my best guess. I'm trying to learn my own self. Like, okay, I'm trying to put pieces together that make sense. Does that make sense, Captain?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Well, dude, I mean, honestly, coming from a country that's a joke at the moment, this stuff screws with your head so much. Like, we went to dinner, you could taste in the air that there was something wrong. There was no one walking up, hugging each other. There was police where there shouldn't be police. Standing in the middle of a closed door, there was a police officer with a gas mask in the middle of a closed door to make sure that people weren't violating the rule. Me and my friend, we went over to collect a Christmas present for her mother. A simple hairdryer in a large store. Okay? Two of us could not go in together. I had to wait outside in the ice rain while she ran in and grabbed us. This there was all these like kids things going up and down and around and shit like that. All these like fun fair type shit, right? No one was going on it. Why? Because you get too close to other people and everyone was scared again. Everyone was scared of the virus or like breaking things when the police were standing there watching you. I was on the street and I had my mask off because I couldn't breathe. And we had to get away from where the police were standing for me to be able to breathe properly. Because if the police saw me with the mask off, I would get an instant €2,000 fine and possibly be arrested.
My daughter, when she came down from Illinois to South Carolina, she's like, she was with the mask. I said, don't worry about the mask. She goes, They're not that serious. I said, people wear them, yes, but nobody's really enforcing it because, whatever reason. And, every time I walk into a place, like I went to, for example, yesterday, I went to the post office.
Yeah.
My wife and I had 5 boxes. She wore a mask. I didn't. Nobody said shit to me.
Here,
The few times that I've been actually asked about, we have free masks, I said, I medically can't wear it. The moment I actually say that, they're like, okay, I hope you get better. I'm thinking, okay, it's not a physical thing, it's a mental thing. And unfortunately, there's nothing I can do about it.
well,
But
over here,
they didn't take it fine here.
no, here it's legal. It's a legal requirement that when you're outside, when you step, they tried to, but they had to remove this because so many people were removing their masks on the streets, right? That they had to remove the street rule yesterday. But it is a legal requirement that you wear the mask inside of a building of any description that is not yours. So basically, post office, church, shopping center, bookstore, whatever. You have to wear this mask. I am now virtually trapped again until this goes over because me and my friend, we were talking, and Harley turned around and she said, I will have a panic attack if I keep this mask on. And I said, I will die. So we can't go out while this mask ordinance is in effect.
Yeah, if they make a mask ordinance here, I'm screwed. I can't wear it. I mean, look, it's not that I wouldn't wear the damn thing. It's I medically can't. I didn't even know it until I tried. I mean, I'm sorry, but I was in the middle of a Target having a panic attack in front of my wife and children. Not a good thing.
Yeah, I nearly had a panic attack. I think I don't know what the hell happened to me. I just know that I got out and everything, and they just started like breathing and everything like that. It's just.
What about you, Captain Trek? How are things in Missouri?
Oh, where I am, most places are either encouraging wearing masks or totally the opposite. And there are a couple businesses that are closed to people that are not wearing masks. However, they have a drive-through or they have a pickup service where you can call. So there's an option.
Hey, Bramagooduk, how are things in the Great White North?
But I mean, this is what I don't get. I have to wear my mask in the shopping center, but I have dinner in the shopping center, and I'm allowed to sit there with my mask off. Does the virus stop at the table? Does it?
You're trying to think common sense.
Okay, here's a question. This is for you commented about asthma.
Yes.
What if you have an asthma attack and need to use your inhaler? You can't have your damn mask on.
You have to move over to the side.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Mm-hmm. I did not know. I have what's called occasional asthma, but when you can feel it building in one of your lungs, and I know the feeling, I have to get air into me. Otherwise, I would go into a full-blown asthma attack.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And I'm there, and I'm like, I have to. Now, when I get nervous, I stutter, right? And I screw up on words. So my friends are like, okay, there's something really weird with you. I have to get out of here. Like, okay, go. And then I just stepped in, so I put off them out. This is all you'd hear all the time. People coming out of shops and all these.
Okay, folks. Hate to do this to Darth Revan, but hey,
Yeah.
Captain Trek is about to start in 3 minutes. I've already set the reminder. Everybody here, go head over to Captain Trek's Morning Brew. I'm going over there in a minute. I may talk a little bit. I may lurk. But you know what? Go hit up Captain Trek because you know what? You're going to have a fun-ass time. With that being said, this was my simple impromptu, just like Twitter. I snuck past Twitter. We'll see how long it lasts. With that being said, peace and long life, everyone. Go check out Captain Trek's channel today. Rambling Canuck, Dave Sound, Yitzy, LDG. It's time for the morning brew.
See you, dude.